Hey everybody, Stippling Vaughn, and right there, that is a mock-up of one of the comp drawings for what Inglorious Rex is going to look like when it's colored. And then I got another one taped up, one right there, working out the colors some more, and then we got another one taped up there. That one's I worked on mainly to get uh, Razor figured out for how I was going to do the colors for her. You can see how it's like this was the first pass, way too yellow. Second pass, using way too many white hot highlight spots. And then we have the last one. So, and there's the piece that's actually being colored. That's the final one. So, give me a minute here. And we got the board along with the mount. So let's put this on the mount. And that's crooked. Oh, that's pretty good. So, how I do the colors for this, to give you a quick look, is you can see where I've gone in, and this is a Copics marker. Mainly I work with the Artist Loft. I do mainly with the Artist Loft. In some cases, I do have some Copics, not a whole lot. The difference between the Copics and the Artist Loft to me are relatively the same. I really don't see much of a difference between the two. So I generally, because of cost, because I don't do this, I don't do a whole lot of color. Okay. Up front, full disclaimer, I just don't work a lot with colors, so there's no reason for me to spend $800 or whatever it is on a full Copic set and then have to go through the process of ordering colors each time I run out. So this is right now, this is the, remember when I was explaining how I was going to do the coloring for how I was going to do Rex 232, so he'll be pushed back. So keep him pushed back. So that way he's, your focus, you can see from the focus overall, it's going to be Razor. As a result, I'm keeping the color palette for 232 to be relatively subdued. So that way, again, your primary focus is going to be on Razor. So what I'm going to probably do is, I still haven't worked it out. If you go back and look, okay, we have here is the rider of this Rex has been killed. Okay. I've got to come up with a color palette for him so he stands out. So that way he doesn't, right now as it's done, he's not really popping out of this color palette. So that's the reason why we need to do him. I might do 4 or 5 more treatments before I decide which is the best one for him. So, but not much really going on. Saturday was, of course, the art auction, and I'm actually rewatching it. I'm at the point where Ethan is selling the Under Panty Claus piece that he did, and he's anticipating next year he's going to do a card set. But then I think last year he was talking about doing a card set of the Under Panty Claus. Maybe he finally has enough to do it. I don't know. I can't remember per se. As Danger Vanessa likes to say, in CG years, it's like dog years. 1 year is 7 years. So, like I said, he may have stated something about it last year. So, and no, I am not going to be talking about what was going orange on Sunday night. And if it's still a hot topic item, when Danger Vanessa does her next episode of The Chat in 2023. And if it comes a subject and she has me on her show, the answer is no comment. I'm not going to touch that. I'm not going to comment on it. I have not backed Truth, Justice, the American Way. And so as a result of having not backed it, I am going to keep my mouth shut. Because it's not going to end well for anyone. So, I think Shane and John Malin made the best comments about it. I'm not going to say anything on it. That is for you to decide if you decide that that's what you want to talk about, and you can formulate your own opinion based on what they said. So I am not, like I said, I'm not touching it at all. So let's see, get them out. Okay. So, okay, let me show you something. Lemon and yellow. Okay. So this is a yellow. This is an older yellow that's been had for a while. Okay, you can see how it's completely flaking apart. Okay, when I was doing the comps, the color comps, I was using this one, and then when I got pretty much done with the comps and decided, okay, I'm ready to start working on this piece, what I did was I went to Michael's, and I then got a bunch of these that had been like this. So a bunch of these were all drying up. The it's all frayed at this end. This end is completely shot. Best thing to do is once I get done with this drawing, since this yellow is like all but completely shot, just throw it away and then just utilize this from here on out. What I'm working on today and right now is I'm going to be doing the colors for this one. How I'm going to do is, because the vial have like a greenish blue to them, I went with a bunch of different tests. And what I liked is the ones in the foreground to help them pop. And it is completely valid for me to justify why I'm going to have coloring, because as Shane has discussed on various streams since he announced that the vial have a name, he's talked about how like there's different types of vial. There is different because there's different types, there's different sizes. So as I look at it, is none of these guys need to look exactly like they do, because he really has not provided. All he's provided to us is a drawing on the very last page of book 1 and on his cover of book 2. If you really take a look at it, Renee and her cover, she goes more in depth, like myself, in what the vial actually looked like, as opposed to what his own drawings depict. So as a result, it gives you some freedom for how to draw these characters and also how to color them. So what I'm going to do is I'm putting in an undertone of this yellow. And so, this is not the original. Okay, this is a photocopy on 65-pound paper. It's the heaviest paper the public person can buy. Now, if your Staples or Office Max or a printer, you can probably buy an 85 to 95 pound paper to run through your copier. But for the independent individuals, unless you're going to be buying online, no, you cannot. So I have not bought any papers online, so this is the heaviest stock I can buy right now. None other type is available. So, yeah, I'm just going in and putting in the underpainting of, yeah, like I said, it's just like an underpainting. Just going in with the yellow, putting it in, and then let that dry. Okay, so yeah, I know I could color it the rest of the way, but I'm just going to let it sit there. Reason being is because I want to go and show you this one here. Okay, see how he's blue. He's got the underpainting of blue. This one being torn apart is going to have an underlining of blue. This one has the underlining color of blue. These two guys are going to have the underlining blue. Him, and this guy, they're going to have the yellow. Okay, by having the underlying color yellow, they're warmer colors, so they're going to pull them the colors of them are going to pull them into the foreground, whereas the blues are going to push them back into the foreground. Remember, Razor okay, she's in very warm colors. Okay, so she's going to have, you really take a look, she's really going to be the focal point, and everything's going to revolve around her. And then we have the other Rex that's fallen. And then you see actually this piece here that I'm looking at here. Okay, yeah, that's me and Herb. It was one of the first Comic Cons I went to. Had an image of him. And that first book, the G.I. Joe, the big book, had Herb sign it. That's one of the first books I actually had signed when I started going to shows. But at any rate, if you take a look at the bottom and along the side, you can see where I put marker numbers. Okay, what it is, I wrote down the numbers so that way I know, like here's in the eye. Okay, that way when I go to when I go here to do the color, okay, I can look over here and it tells me, okay, these are the colors that I used to make that. That's the one I'm going with. Same thing over here, okay, with the nails and with the whatever that is there. I'm not certain what that is off the top of my head. But I know what it is when I get to it. Plus also you guys got me on the spot. So, but no, that's how it's working. That's how I am going along. Comicsgate Kings is about to start any minute now. I'm really curious how they're going to do the show tonight. So whatever I hope they simply make a statement and move on to other things. Honest to God, I really do. But we're just not happy about what's going on. Can't do much about it. But until then, hey, remember, life is stressful. Just take it all one dot at a time.